Vice President J.D. Vance is riding high in the aftermath of a major diplomatic breakthrough with the Iranian regime. But of course, he saw the fake news reports and he has a scathing retort. Before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance recently said that he has not decided whether or not he will run for president in the 2028 election. And he has left that up to the 2026 midterms, and he will reevaluate according to his own terms. But he has also been deeply involved in a lot of important decisions in the Trump White House, and he has been forefront in being an ambassador for the White House in a lot of different facets, including on the foreign policy front. And so J.D. Vance was recently asked about the diplomatic deal that was brokered with the Iranians, and one of the bits of fake news caught his attention, and he rushed to put out this fire because he says that it is not true. Let's take a look.
See oil prices from a high of $126 a barrel down to about $80 a barrel today. That's a lot of progress. But it also, Gail, fundamentally extends a hand to Iran and says, look, if you guys are willing to honor your obligations, if you're willing to allow real inspections of your nuclear program, then we will welcome you back into the world economy. I think what the President of the United States wants to do is turn over a leaf of 47 years of a failed relationship between the United States and Iran, but that requires the Iranians to actually honor their end of the bargain. So when people say that billions of dollars of assets will be released, that's not true. What is true is that Iran will have a much better and much more prosperous future if they meet the obligations they make in this agreement. We'll, of course, see. That's one of the things we're going to work out in the technical talks that will follow the official signing on Friday.
Mr. Vice President, it's Ed O'Keefe, and we're so glad you're here in part because, as Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said yesterday, you are the architect of this deal. So let's walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. So I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting, is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media, they're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
So, of course, the Democrats want to frame this as a capitulation, as Trump surrendering to the Iranians. That is something that former President Barack Obama did. Of course, he lifted sanctions and even sent pallets of cash, according to documented reports, to the Iranians. And, of course, the Iran mullahs, they have funded terrorism that has killed Americans and other innocent people abroad for years in the aftermath of that JCPOA deal that Obama and the Iranians unofficially agreed to. Of course, it wasn't put through the Senate. And so this is a major issue that is being solved by the Trump administration, something that was left on their table by previous Democratic presidencies. So weigh with your own thoughts about this story. We always appreciate your support at Explain America.